Okay guys, today we're going to be working on the subwoofer. Now, one of the disadvantages of this little amp I'm using is its maximum RMS is 300 watts, which is fine, but that's only at 2 ohms, and this sub is running at 4 ohms. But I don't know if it's a dual voice or not, in which case we could probably cross it and make it a 2 ohm sub, which will give it the full 300 watts. Now, talking to Adam when he was retuning the system, he said the amp was struggling with this sub to push enough power for it, because at 4 ohms it pushes 175 watts, and I guarantee you this sub, it's a Rockford Fosgate, is probably a minimum of 300 watts RMS. Now I've bought myself a new kicker sub to put in there that's definitely a 2 ohm subwoofer. And it runs at 500 watts. Of course, it'll only be pushed at 300 watts, so I need to talk to Adam about that. So I don't know if I'm going to do a changeover today, but what I am going to do is we're going to take this apart, or we're going to attempt to. It is me, after all. And we're going to see what this sub actually is, because I don't know what Rockford Fosgate this is, what its ohm rating is, whether it's a dual voice coil, capable of dual voice coils or not, and we'll go from there. First thing you do is you unhook your connectors. Now, I'm going to do one at a time, and for safety, you don't want these two to touch each other. If these two tips touch each other, you can blow your amplifier. So, grab yourself some electrical tape, and at least on one of them, although it's probably good to put it on both, you want to put some electrical tape. Now, I'm sorry if I'm blocking things. Filming this is not so easy, but I got electrical tape around that guy to make sure it doesn't touch. Now I'm going to pull the red out. That guy's out. Very nice. And just for safety, we're going to put electrical around him too. Make sure he doesn't touch any metal. I don't want to cause any shorts or anything. So we'll just put some electrical tape around that puppy. And there we go. Now the sub wire is unhooked, and we can start working on the sub itself proper. I figured this is some kind of outer casing, so let me check my filming. Sorry, our next door neighbor's chickens are giving attitude. I've never taken the plastic off the sides of this, so I'm going to try a plastic automotive pry tool. I think that's a good idea. It'll lower the chance of it breaking, but I figure all the screws are behind this Q-Logic cover. For this project, I've got myself a pick, just in case it's easier to pick that stuff. I have myself a regular screwdriver, Phillips, it's probably Phillips head. That's just in case my drill isn't powerful enough to unhook them at first. I'll use this and then the drill to get the rest of the screws out to speed up the process. And a case of plastic pry tools, just to take some of the outer plastic apart. So, we're going to use this guy first and see if you get under there. This pops like this. Doesn't seem to want to pop. Oh, wait a minute. That's kind of loose. I probably ended up breaking this. Ooh, it's very tight. You know what? It may not be that comes off. That's why I brought the pick tool. It might be the screen. There we go. Pull the screen off. Look at that. Wasn't that? The screws are right underneath the plastic screen. There's 1, 2. Wow. Only 2 screws. That's pretty weird. They are Phillips, and they look like they're kind of cockeyed in there. Let's see if I can get in there, get them loose. That's not much of a screw to hold a sub in. I'm sure whoever put this in, well, I can tell you this much. That when I did this subwoofer a long time ago, I remember this was the second subwoofer that went in this enclosure. The other one blew up. Why it blew up, I don't know. Probably with me playing at the volumes I play. I think we all know the answers there. All right, so that should disconnect that. Now, how do you get the sub out? This is a nice punch by Rockford Fosgate. They make some nice stuff. So I'm trying to figure out the easiest way to get this thing to pop out. Figure gravity might be my friend doing that. Nope, that's not working. I don't want to damage the sub. This is not going to be as easy as I thought. So, let's look at this closely. Got it right here. Our sub is obviously sitting inside here. It's pretty tight in there. I might have to use a screwdriver and pry it a little. This plastic doesn't seem to have anything except to do with, you know, general design to make it look pretty. Let's try plastic pry tools to lessen the chances of damaging. The problem is getting to the plastic part of the sub is the problem, and I'll be pushing against the rubber, and I don't want to break the sub. So I might have to do some research on how to get a sub out of a box. Okay, at this point, let's stop showing what an idiot I am. In case any of you haven't figured out watching me on this, I'm learning as I go, and I'm a complete idiot, and I really don't know what I'm doing at all. Not at all. So these videos are more for entertainment and showing you how not to do things. In my defense, this particular sub took Adam about 3 minutes to figure out how to get the damn screws out, because it was a little different than some of the other subs out there. You know, most of the time you'll just see the screws around the edge. Well, this one has a cool little feature. Here we go. Here we go. This is the Rockford Fosgate sub. And, alright, this is not so easy for me to do. And just like a person with an uncircumcised penis, you have to pull the rubber around the edges up in order to get to the screws. Kind of like, you know, kind of cleaning your weenie. If you're not circumcised, you got to pull the foreskin off to get to the dick cheese. Yeah, a little disgusting, but pretty direct. Being the person I am, I didn't want to break anything, and I didn't want to destroy something that sounded reasonably good as it was, but whatever. Turns out this is a Rockford Fosgate. I took it to Adam. He took it out in about 15 minutes and changed it out for me. Turns out this is a Rockford Fosgate. It is a 4-ohm and single voice coil subwoofer. Now, it is rated at about 200 watts RMS, which means it's pretty well matched for this particular amplifier at its lower power rating. But I wanted to get a little bit of extra bass room. So I switched to the 12-inch Kicker CompR subwoofer, which pushes 500 watts RMS, which is a little much for this particular vehicle. Now, it was a dual voice coil subwoofer, which means it'll have 4 posts on it. I'm putting this in real quick because I think I explained it incorrectly. You have 4 posts on your 2-ohm or your dual voice coil subwoofer to run in 2 ohms. Basically, you have a red and black on one side and a red and black on the other side. Now, what you're going to want to do is you're going to have lines going in to the red and black that connect to your subwoofer box to lead out. What you want to do is you want to take the black from this side and connect it to the black to the other voice coil, and take the red from this side and connect it to the red on the other post. That way both posts are together, black to black, red to red, and then run your lines out to your subwoofer box. That'll put you in a proper 2-ohm setting. What I said before was stupid and made no sense, and that probably still makes no sense, but just so you know, you can find much better videos on the internet that'll show you how to do this that don't involve goofballs like me telling you anything. I'm sorry I didn't have the video for this. I feel like a total moron, but I want to show you how to be an idiot. Basically, it was just a bunch of screws. You unhook the back of the subwoofer, and then you had to do a piece of speaker wire to cross one side that connects together, and then the other connectors you would use to connect to the subwoofer inputs, and boom, you're all set. So now I got 500 watts RMS on a 300 watt RMS amplifier, and it's ridiculous. It is what it is. I like to show you these times when I try to do something myself. It's not so easy for me. But just to show you, don't make same stupid mistakes as I do. If you don't see the screws, there's probably an edging that you pull off, aside from my disgusting way of telling you about it, and and that's how you change the sub. I can tell you one thing, since changing the sub, the one thing I have noticed is that I got a lot more fine-tuning room. When I turn the bass knob, yeah, you got to see how the bass knob's turn. When I turn the bass knob, I can get much more fine changes in the sound than normal. So that's basically it for this video. I'm sorry it's kind of stupid, but I wanted just to show you how not to change your sub in the subwoofer. If there's anyone in the main area who needs a 4-ohm, 12-inch Rockford Fosgate subwoofer, it's only 200 watts, but it sounded very nice. but just needs a subwoofer itself or is nearby. I don't know. It might cost too much to ship. Let me know at verdi8400gmail.com. You know, if you can pick it up or whatever, if you're nearby, near Maine, let me know, and it's all yours. Otherwise, it's just going to sit in a box and die. All right. Peace out.